I mean, we are looking at transfer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're all looking like, where can we find this money? And how can Manchester United generate this fund? So we are more or less like doing a calculation, which I want us to quickly do. Let's say, which player do you think, let me start from you. Which player do you think is going to go? We have to sell that we can raise money.
Okay, we start from those ones in the on loan right now. Malaysia, Rashford, Sancho, and Anthony, right?
Yeah.
Those ones are basic. We don't want them back. So I think those ones are the ones right now. I believe they are going. Then it's obvious. The other one that's obvious is Garnacho, based on the rumors we're hearing between the coach and Garnacho. So those are the very key guys that we need to get out quickly. Already, we don't have any plans for them at this point. So I think we need to get those ones out quickly. Then, if those ones are out, then if we have to now look inward, we'll be talking about migrating a lot of players. I don't know if we're talking about Casemiro for sale. I don't know if we are going to get any money for Casemiro on sales. But I think we need to move Casemiro on.
Then what about the situation of Bruno?
So Bruno, I think we still need to wait on Bruno to get clarity, right?
But it's looking like he's interested. He's gonna go.
Yeah.
Let's sum it up. Can we sum it up like Bruno is gone?
Why will his representative be going to Saudi?
Going to Saudi.
No, so that's the question I have.
So you tell me.
I'll personally say we should sell him, but if we keep him, I don't have anything against it too. So, but I think if we have to also, because that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money. I'm very sure. I'm confident we'll get 100 million for Bruno.
All right. Before we let's move on like this. I want to write it down. Talking about how much we can raise on these players. So I have on the list Bruno, Rashford, Sancho, Garnacho. I wanted to put Meno. If you want to put him there,
it's not too clear, but it's possible.
It's possible. All right. Let's do it like let's
just put down a tentative transfer. Yeah.
All right. Let's start from Bruno. It said 100 mil, right?
100 mil. Sharp.
Bruno. Sharp. Okay.
Mil.
All right. Let's move on to Rashford. How much do you think we are gonna get from Rashford?
So based on what we know, it was 40 million plus when it went to Aston Villa. I think they are keeping that. So I would say it's 40.
40. Yeah. So all right. Let's move on to Sancho. Sancho, how much do you think we can raise from Sancho?
So if Chelsea is buying Sancho, it's 25M. If they send him back, I don't know. But let's assume it's 25.
Okay, 25 of Sancho. Now, next is Garnacho. How much do you think we can raise from Garnacho?
If we have to sell Garnacho quickly, I think 50. I think we can get 45-50 for Garnacho, yeah. If you have to sell him quickly.
45-50. 45-50. Do you intend us to let's say 50. Let's round it off like 50, right?
50, yeah. Garnacho. I think Garnacho should command 50, yeah.
50. All right.
Well.
Let's talk about, is there any player you think also we need? What about
Malaysia and Anthony. Anthony, I'm looking at from what I've heard was 40 for Anthony. I don't know.
I'm not seeing Anthony as 40, like 35.
Yeah, I'm looking at, sincerely, I think that's the range 35-40, sincerely.
I'm gonna put 35.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put 35.
Are you doing it in pounds or euros?
Pounds.
If it's pounds, I think 35. Yeah, you're right.
35 pounds. What about who else is going? If you talk about Rashford, talk about
Malaysia needs
Malaysia won 2 million.
No, we can still get between I think 10 to 15 million for Malaysia.
Let me say 10. Who else do you think is going to go? Oyland as Rasmus?
No, I don't think.
You don't think?
No, I don't
But wait, then why are we not talking about striker? See, if he cannot move this guy within him and Zeski,
but I think
they're not going to buy a striker.
So I don't know.
And we are only playing one competition next season. Only one. I mean, maybe FA Cup or whatever.
I don't think we are selling Ireland because there is no feeling. Nobody has said anything apart from this rumor that they went to Napoli and that Osimhen plus 40 million plus Ireland plus 40 million for Osimhen, but I don't think that's true because I believe Osimhen is going to Saudi.
Yeah,
Al Ahly may probably give him a good offer. So apart from that, nobody has said anything about. We've not heard any rumor about we selling Ireland. I don't even think that's any. But I think if we sell him for 40 million, would be a good deal. But because last season was bad, I don't think we have power to negotiate based on his performances. But we don't want to also lose much.
Then let's leave Oyland out of it then, since there's so many speculation around him being sold this next season. All right, let's do the calculation. I have 100 for Bruno, Rashford 40, Sancho 25,
that's 65,
Garnacho 50, Anthony 35, 250 plus Malaysia 10. That's 260 million pounds this summer for Manchester United.
And we are looking at spending 200 million actually. That's the target.
All right.
So
if we are okay, let's say we are going to generate nothing less than 250 million pounds, which that will take us to the next question. Who do we need to buy?
Okay, we spent 62 million already on Quina.
Yeah, 62 gone. Okay, minus 62. Minus 62. So we are left with 198.
198. So what we have to now do is, first of all, because if we sell, just like we are tentatively saying, if we sell Bruno, it's a major replacement. It's a major replacement. We can't even try to buy 2 players to replace him. You have to spend money on at least one good player.
One good player. At least.
Yeah. You can't.
So which player? Tell me.
In Premier League.
Well,
nobody we can get in Premier League to replace him.
Try.
No, nobody. Because when you look at Premier League, most of the people that can replace him are playing a very strong team. You can't go and take Declan Rice. You can't go and take Tillemans. You can't go and take what is it called, Madison. You can't go and take. I think the closest person that you can take that can play, I don't even see him as a midfielder, is Eze.
Eze.
Yeah.
I don't see him as a midfielder to be like.
I don't even see him as a midfielder. So yeah.
So what do you think? Any player from outside or anywhere? I can't even see.
I don't know. Unless you now go and take player from maybe Brighton or which other team that is struggling. That's my problem, right? Like if you see my chat this morning, I said it will be difficult to replace Bruno, but the money is good. So if you ask me, I will do something crazy. I will go for Semenyo and Eze, buy those 2 players.
Now, you know one thing, there's always, it's always this speculation, like, where does Bruno actually fit in Amorim's system?
It doesn't fit in Amorim's system.
At all.
At all.
So why don't we lock it off and let's go for Semenyo?
So the only way he plays in Amorim's system is if he plays 10, which he doesn't play. So the problem we now have is Mbeumo is a winger, right?
Yeah.
We can't use him as a midfielder. The only thing we can do is play him as a 10.
Yeah.
And that means he has to be very at the front, right? So what we are saying is we need somebody that plays with our DM.
Yeah.
Right. Our DM happens to be Ugarte, which we even need to upgrade.
Yeah.
So whoever is staying there has to be a player.
Oh, that reminds me, Casemiro can also go. Casemiro is there.
Casemiro is not must go. We can't plan next season with Casemiro.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So if we find any player in the that has that form of Casemiro but is developing, has the potential to become the next Casemiro. Those are the kind of player we can put there. For example, now that player will be expensive and that player will not be available. You know why Liverpool is spending 130 on this player from
Bundesliga?
Yeah, it's because there are no plenty player of that stature in the market. You don't find them easy. You don't find players like, you don't just replace players like Bruno. Most especially when you don't even have money. Let's even say we have money, it's still difficult, right? So what I would do is just say, close your eyes as if Bruno is not there. Who are the players that we can play that can give us what Bruno will give us or help the team? They may not be able to do what Bruno is doing. If you want to find player that can do what Bruno is doing, it's not even something we can get. So why I said I would get Eze and Semenyo is because I will delete Dogu and play Semenyo as left wing back, play Eze in that role. Then I will still be able to I don't know, sincerely. I'm struggling to get player to replace Bruno that can play in the EPL.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of players out there that can play that role, but they've not played in EPL. For example, if you go to let's even look at any of these teams that play in the Champions League. I think a lot of players that I like, but sincerely, I don't know if they can play in the EPL. I'm scared. You know me, I don't like bringing players to come and try EPL.
You always say that. You always say that.
I don't like it for anything. I don't like it because it has not always worked. It takes players that have gone another level to come to. Don't go and bring players from Portuguese this thing that has not gone another gear, right? If you are looking at him there, he's not playing like one of them. Is different. You understand? Everybody knows that. No, this guy, no. He's just playing this place is another level. Because if you just bring somebody that masters Portuguese league and bring him to EPL, they will eat him up. There are reasons they don't go far. Some of them will have a good first season. After that, or they will never have a good first season. So I just don't know, sincerely. Maybe we should just change. We should just forget about Bruno as if we'd never had Bruno.
And
just build a team, right? Yeah, but I don't know, sincerely. I have people talking about Ederson. Yeah, I know
Ederson is good. We can go for Ederson in that.
I know it's good
in that ratio. We can also go for that.
Yeah, that's Ederson. I don't know if he can come and.
but most of these players you are mentioning, I mean, not all of them is going to play Champions League, but Ederson will be looking for a Champions League.
Yeah, we know that anybody that will replace Bruno too will be somebody that is looking for Champions League, unless you want to bring a very younger
version.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something: where are all these teams getting good players? Look at this Champions League now. Look at the names. Look at the players. They are playing like a madman.
Not top scouting, no. Scouting, no.
Are you telling me Man U doesn't have a scouting channel?
Scouting. We don't. We don't. We have scouting, but we don't have.
They're lazy or what?
Yeah. Top lazy. Top. I don't know anything about that.
Is it all about what they do is they look at what Arsenal are looking at,
Let me read something to you that I read today, right? Now, Inter President Marotta, this is from Fabrizio Romano page. Inter President Marotta says PSG director Campos anticipates the market. He signed Bernardo Silva from Monaco, when he was at Benfica B team. Campos signed Bernardo Silva. He was a B team player. He signed him.
Wow.
People that knows the market, they understand.
I'm telling you.
They understand. So we don't have it. We do not have it. What we have is people that looks at what other people are looking at.
Other players are looking at. They will now
How many
attach it
goals
to
have they
Manchester
scored?
United.
What is their SG? What is their GA? Look at the GA. Look at the SG. Bring the person.
And the
That's
person
what they
flop.
do. That's it. That's it.
I think going to the next season, this is the moment we're on a downward level right now. We are nothing. And it is, do you see this next season as a rebuilding, whereby if it's not working for Amorim between 2 or 3 matches, sack him?
No.
You know?
No.
Are we going to go back to that level again? Like sacking another manager who comes, he wants to play 3-5-2, start looking for another players, we'll start all over again. So do you think this season should be rebuilding, or let's break on me?
I think we already made a mistake when we sacked ETH mid-season. We already made a mistake, right? We would have allowed him to end the season. We won't even be as poor as this. But some people are saying this is also a blessing in disguise, because these guys now already know who to change, and which is not even looking like that now. But the truth is this, right? Anytime you have a coach that will never change his tactics, change his formation, likes a particular type of player and all that, it's either it works or it fails miserably. Because the next coach you are bringing may not be that type of coach. Then the cycle starts again, correct? So it will be drastic, because nobody, you know how we are divided as fans and all that. There are people right now that say sack this guy even since we couldn't get qualified. If you want to sack this guy, let's sack him now. I'm telling you the truth. I can say it anyway. If you want to sack this guy, right? Sack him now.
Him now.
If you sack him now, bring a coach who is able to look at what is on the ground.
But hold on. If are you saying this like Amorim has to? Is it at some point in a game it should change? Is that what you're saying? Like it shouldn't be rigid to this is it, or else it's going to fall. Or does it come to a game whereby it raised the game? I have to use maybe 4-3-3.
I'm not even talking about tactics. I'm talking about we spending money for a style of play.
Okay.
Because if you are spending money for a particular style of play, you're already putting yourself in a box. So it's either it works or it fails miserably.
Yeah.
That means the money you spent
is useless.
It's useless. So
how can it work? So if you're 10 players now, if he gets all his players, what do you think Amorim should now do now? Let's say he assembled all his players now. How do we get out of this mess?
Let's rewind. When ETH got all his players, it was still failing miserably. That is where we are right now, because we bought his players for him. Yeah. We bought Anthony for him. We bought all these Dutch guys for him. And there's no improvement. So we found ourselves where the next coach does not even play what he plays. And feels miserable. That is where we are. So he said that we trust Amorim right now, buy his player for him. And that happens in 2 seasons. You can't buy a coach's player for him in 1 season. No. It takes 2 seasons for a coach to change the whole, even if you have the money, to change the whole formation. Because I'm telling you right now, if you have to do well next season, you have to play Mazuri from the back. That's not what we bought him for. He's not the one that bought him. He can tell you, I'm playing Mazuri from here. I'm playing this guy from here. January, you were supposed to buy players from in January. You didn't buy player for me. One of the most shocking decisions we made was allow our 3 attackers to leave. And we replaced them with nobody. We now are playing Garnacho, and Garnacho thinks he's top of the world because you can't unselect him, no matter what he does. So what I'm saying right now is we're in a situation where we have to trust this guy, buy his player for him, and praise it works. Because
it works. Well,
if it doesn't work, and we bring and the next coach that is coming is not going to play 3-5-2 or 3 whatever is playing.
Yeah, we'll be back to this same situation again.
We'll roll it all over again. Then that's what happened. Look at when the year we sacked Mourinho, the following season that after we won Europa League, Mourinho came, was it second or something? He has to buy his own defenders. The kind of defenders they didn't agree. They didn't give him funds to buy the kind of defenders he wants. And he told us at the time it's going to be a difficult year. And it was a difficult year, and he got sacked. Okay. Then we moved to another coach. So these things will keep happening. And I don't think it's strange because this is now football. Every coach will come with their players,
with their own plans.
Yeah. You understand? So let's just pray we buy this guy because it's not changing. I don't see him changing. I don't think Amorim will change. So
I don't think so too.
And if you don't want to back him, sack him now. Don't let him test next season.
Sack him now.
Sack him now if you don't want him, or back him for the next 2 seasons and pray.
That means when you're saying backing it means if a coach wants this particular player, because it's always confusing. We have sporting director that will say, "Oh, I want my own personal player." Oh, they've penciled down. How do they manage that kind of, maybe Amorim is looking for a particular player, and the person in charge is now looking like, oh, I have a particular player. How do they solve that? There won't be any, let's go for this.
Yeah, so it's not about a particular player, and it's about a role. So Amorim now needs 2-10s. How many coaches play 2-10s? So, but the system you have to play 2-10s behind a striker. So what Amorim will tell them is, I need 2-10s. The issue of who is going to play those 2-10s will be subjective. But whatever you do, you are still going to play 2-10s. That's what the coach wants. So Amorim may say, okay, I like this player as a 10. Maybe they will not be arguing, no, this player also can play the 10. That's the role you want. All you want is a striker, 2-10 at the back of a striker, right? So I think they can agree based on the role and the system. I don't think, unless the coach now are saying that if you don't get me this guy, I'm leaving. I don't think it works like that. I think it's more of what is the role that we are filling. Does this player matches the role? Does this player play at high level in this role? You understand? So that is what I feel would be like the communication, right? Because you can't just go and say, buy me Vitinha. Oh, where do you want to play him? That's the next question. Okay, I want to play him as a 10. No, this guy doesn't play 10. This guy plays there. Okay, all right. So I think in his Amorim system is just different. He has to, for example, the left wing back, the right wing back. It's not every defender that can play that role, and it's not every attacker. So they have to now create that role and say, who fits into this role? Do you have money to buy who fits into this role, or we have to convert somebody into this role? So a lot of things that are going on, right? So they have to come together and agree. And at the end of the day, if you have to spend money to make sure all these roles are filled, it still has to work. There is nothing that says it's going to work.
All right. Yeah. Yomi, thanks for joining us on this one. I think every Saturday now, before we start another season, since we don't have any football
for now.
So I think every Saturday we'll be going on live to talk about Manchester United this week. I think that's what I'm going to name the title, Manchester United this week. So all events that has happened over the week will sum it up on Saturdays. So we open a phone call, people can call in, till the end of the season. I mean, the end of the beginning of the season where we do our normal. But right now, let's be piling up all our questions, what we need to discuss all over the week signings. I think most majorly is going to be transfers.
Transfer, yeah. You don't want to talk about transfer, but you don't have choice.
But I was saying that, guy, what are we saying? What am I talking about in transfer? Because where's the money? Show me. Oh, we are going to spend this. But you see, Amorim is the one talking. I've not seen this kind of this board before. They are so terrible. Their PR is so, as in, they don't care. How do they allow the manager to come and talk, to speak for the, oh my God. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. That's I just started
Oh, I think you're on mute now.
All right. I think I said I started a campaign about Glazers out, Ineos out. So until when I see it changes, that's when I'm going to talk. Glazers out, Ineos out. It's as if you don't know what they're doing.
So I think those guys are
crazy. But you know where I'm waiting for? At the end of the transfer, I want to see actually what have we done. But right now, I'm just keeping it simple. Like, well, I'm not interested. Let's see how it's going to happen.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Even boys that don't have money to marry have girlfriends. They still be looking for girlfriends. Looking for girlfriends and about. So,
all right.
About.
Thank you so much, man. We'll see you next week. All right.
See you. Bye.
All right.